Welcome to another episode of the Reluctant Adult Podcast. My name is Paul, and I am joined, as always, by the man who's having a more phenomenal week, Bill.
Hi, everybody. I chase it down with a shot of Captain Picard.
Okay, well, I know nothing about Star Trek. So you'll be anchoring that part of the segment. But what I do know a little bit about is Power Rangers. So this week, the long-awaited Power Rangers Once and Always Netflix special aired. And the reviews were pretty positive. I think mostly because people, felt bad.
Yeah?
You watched it, right?
I watched half of it before I fell asleep.
You kept one eye half open through most of it. You were able to see.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched it yet and do not want to be spoiled, please skip ahead like 10 minutes or so, because we're gonna get deep into it. Okay. So we've been hearing about this for a while now. This is the 30th anniversary. They brought back some of the original cast. Jason, the Red Ranger, did not return because he is in legal hot water, and we're going to talk about the ramifications from that a little bit later. Kimberly, the Pink Ranger, opted to not return as well, and then Tommy, the Green Ranger, did not return. He was given the option to return, and he chose not to. And the storyline here is that the Yellow Ranger, Trini, is murdered by a returning Rita Repulsa. Now, in real life, the actress who played Trini died tragically in a car accident. So they've taken this real life event and they've incorporated it into their superhero show, which I have to wonder. I have to imagine that they consulted with the relatives of
You think her estate signed off on it, correct?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Because it was a little horrific. Like, the way it goes down is Rita comes back as a robot. So let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Billy, the Blue Ranger, is trying to bring back Zordon because Zordon sacrificed himself at one point in the series. I think it was in Space episode where the Red Ranger at the time, In Space Ranger, he hits him with a sword and the tube explodes and it sends positive Power Ranger energy across the universe, and it turns Lord Zed and Rita into people, because I guess they were people.
Doesn't everybody turn into a person?
I don't know. Even like the people made of clay originally, they get to become people.
I thought everybody who was like a main bad guy. I remember seeing that clip floating around, and I don't know a lot about Power Rangers, but I thought there was like everybody who was bad and at least like a face character turned into a good human.
It's sort of like at the end of Beauty and the Beast, where all the furniture turned back into people.
Right.
That was the idea. So anyways, that happens. Billy's trying to bring Zordon back, and he brings back something, but it turns out it's Rita's evil energy that was scattered across the universe.
Yeah.
Her energy her energy burst through the Zordon tube, and it goes right into Alpha 6 or 7. There's been many incarnations apparently since the original Alpha 5. So Alpha 5 transforms into Robo Rita. Robo Rita goes off. Now this is really confusing to me, because in the canon, the Rangers dispersed. Some of them left before the end of Mighty Morphin. Some of them became Zeo and then Turbo. It's not clear how they were still like 50 years old fighting as the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, because I didn't think if we're saying that everything that happened in the show is canon, I'm not sure that it was explained why, but nobody seemed concerned about that, and that's probably the right attitude to have. all that happens, and there's a fight, and Rita's gonna kill Billy. She gets like a really powerful beam from her staff. She throws it at Billy, but Trini sacrifices herself. She jumps in front of Billy, and then she sort of does a little like spin in the air, and her body becomes particles. She like in the Snap in Marvel. She's just dissolved. Yeah.
And somehow they all look over a cliff too.
They all sort of walk to the edge of the cliff.
And where is she? Well, maybe she's down there.
Here's the thing. The producer or director of this is on Twitter, and he said in an original draft, in an early draft, they were going to go find her body.
Wow.
Her body was going to be lying there. So they talked about it. They talked through a lot of different versions of this.
I'm going to tell you one thing real quick.
Sure.
So back when was it, 94, 95, when Mighty Morphin, the Power Rangers movie came out, 95, for some reason I tried to convince my brother, who at the time was a huge Power Ranger fan, was that it was going to be a very dark take.
This new one?
No, the original movie. Was going to be a very dark take.
The theatrical movie.
The theatrical movie was going to be.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It was rated PG, but it was going to have ultra violence in it, and they were going to swear and every other crazy thing.
They were going to swear,
and it never happened. It was goofy as all hell. Damn, Ivan Ooze.
It was super corny. But I loved it.
30 years later, we finally get our death.
Well, okay. So here's the thing. So after 30 years, the characters can finally say the word die, which was just sort of like, And then I was thinking about the Mario movie where Bowser kept being like, I'm going to kill him. And I'm like, I don't want to be that guy, but like maybe we don't need to use that terminology in kids' movies. Like you can say destroy or whatever, but like to walk around being like, I'm going to kill Mario.
I know. I took my kids to see that.
About?
I took my kids to see that yesterday, and my son's like, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill Bowser. I'm going to kill Mario. It's like, dude, you're 3.
I don't know that that's the best. I think maybe we can pull the reins back a little bit on kids programming. But this was not intended for kids, even though I didn't check to see if you were on the kids Netflix, if it pops up.
It does.
But it does. Okay, so it's for kids. It's for kids. But really it's for 30-year-olds, or, you were 30 whenever Power Rangers, back in 1993 when Power Rangers came out. However old you were, this is for you. So it was only an hour. They fit in a lot, but I feel like what they set up through trailers and through promotional media made you think it was going to be like a multiverse kind of situation, because they had like these racks of action figures that Rita was capturing. Like she would shrink them down, the actual Rangers, and they become the Lightning Collection figures. And they were like, Rangers from other seasons. We never see them return to full size. Like they're not in this at all. You only get the 5 Rangers or the 6 Rangers. So that was a little like, why even include that? The Mighty Morphin Rangers Lightning Collection figures, I don't know what they did to them, but they either made very tiny clothing or they sculpted over the joints because they were a little bulkier and you didn't see the joints. But they didn't bother doing that for the non-MMPR Rangers. They were just straight up the toys.
They popped the heads off them and they threw them on that new Groot figure for Guardians of the Galaxy.
What?
and then sewed clothes on top of them. That's what.
Because he's so bulky.
So bulky.
Did you see Did you see that clip from the movie where they're like getting in the car?
Yes.
Everybody's like, why does it look like that? It's like so faded. It looks bizarre. And then Groot looks like somebody in a costume.
Right, his mouth's not moving. He just kind of walks by and he's like this.
It's so weird. It's bizarre. Weird. Yeah. So I think I'll probably
maybe that's what it looks like when they don't film on like a green screen or something. Hope you're gone.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway,
what it is.
So then there's the final battle, and then Trini's daughter is part of it. I think that we're all aware of that. She becomes the Yellow Ranger. They use their weapons, and then they're in Rita's moon base. They call the Megazord, and this is probably the most disappointing part of it because the CGI on the Megazord was just terrible. It was just terrible. There's no two ways about it. They didn't have the budget for good CGI. They should have used the costume. Probably was not available to them. If you remember from the original theatrical movie how bad the CGI was on that Megazord,
I do. It's on par.
It was
with
equally as bad. It was equally as bad.
It was.
And that was how many years ago? Almost 30 years ago. So
30, yeah.
People were commenting that the Megazord looked very strange. Like he was very, very boxy. His legs were a little different from the other incarnations of him. And the guy on Twitter, either the director or the producer, he was saying that Hasbro provided the model, the digital file. Okay. So people were like, "Oh, so it's like based on the Zap Megazord, the Zap, the Zord Ascension Project." And he had no idea what Zap was. He's like, "What the hell is Zap?" Yeah.
What are you talking about?
But it doesn't look like the Zap Megazord because the Zap Megazord it's tall. It's taller. Like it's too tall. This one was very boxy. So I don't think that was still the problem. But
my poor kid. We went to an antique store today, and he loves robots and he loves beasts and all that stuff. And we're walking around, and you know what he finds? He finds the Megazord from the newer movie.
Oh God,
the one with Elizabeth Banks. And I'm like, dude, no. And I'm like, I just remember seeing these at Toys R Us for like $3.
Yes, the last day of Toys R Us.
he's like, Daddy, I want this. I really do. I want it. Please, please, please. And I'm like, how much is it? And it was $25, and I just had to say no. Like it's not worth $25, man.
It's gross. Yeah.
Stop. So you got a Scooby-Doo monster instead.
I'm a fan of that movie, but they really messed up the designs of both the costumes and the Zord designs. They were not good. And that was a big part of it. And I don't know if they were better, if it would have helped the movie. I think there just is not that audience. The audience has not been primed to think that Power Rangers is cool. Like it just wasn't at the time. I don't know that it is now either. Yeah. But the Netflix special it's been doing pretty well. It actually has a very good Rotten Tomatoes score. It was number 3, I think, at one point on most watched on Netflix. So people are watching it. They've piqued the interest. I don't know if they'll do another one. I think everybody involved would like to do another one in a year or so, but Netflix is going to make the call on that if it made enough money for them.
I stopped watching. I mean, I didn't watch a lot of it. Not the special, but the original Mighty Morphin. Oh, yeah. Did Kat always have an accent?
Well, she's Australian.
Okay, yeah, I gathered
in real
that.
life, and I think they made her. I think her character is Australian.
Did she marry Tommy?
Yes. Okay. So in the show, there's this part where Kimberly leaves to go to I don't know what she goes, because she doesn't leave for the original 3. She leaves later. Yeah. But she's gone. And she sends a letter to Tommy that's basically like, we're done.
Wow.
So then that paves the way for Kat to come in. So yes, I think there's like a future episode, like a Christmas special where Tommy and Kat are married. And then they have a canonical son who I think is featured in the comics.
Wow.
But they definitely downplayed that in the special. I think she mentions Tommy, but there's nothing like there's nothing. And then I think I read something where they actually were going to have them be separated, but nothing is mentioned. Nothing has mentioned that.
So adult. It's all
I know, but that's the thing.
No happy endings for any of you.
No, this isn't The Mandalorian. You don't get a happy ending.
Hey, zip it. That was a great ending.
Let's talk about it.
Yes, let's.
I did not love the penultimate episode of this season.
Okay.
Didn't love it. Thought it was a little silly. I thought Moff Gideon went full, Marvel super.
He did. He was dressed up like Iron Man practically. He's just like in an Iron Man suit, just like
he was Iron Man. Black. And then he had his army
Mandalorian.
Iron Mandalorian, but he had his army of just like Tony Stark has his army of like AI Iron Mans, but Moff Gideon had clones. I was right. He did clone himself.
He did clone himself.
Yeah.
In the tubes, but not those soldiers, right?
I think so. I think that was the whole thing.
They didn't sound like him. They even spoke.
Yeah, but it gives that like distortion. But he said he put a little bit of himself in the suits. So that's all I'm saying. So the plan obviously was for his clones plus the Force, which I guess they extracted from Grogu early on.
Right.
But did you see how people were speculating that the Moff Gideon there was a clone himself because he didn't have a mustache?
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Previous season versions of Moff Gideon had a mustache. So they're like,
really?
Proof. We'll see him again. We never saw him die. He was just engulfed by flames. He could totally be fine.
I don't know if we need to see him. I mean, I was almost pretty satisfied with them. If these were clones and they were cloned like Stormtrooper style characters, and that was kind of like the premise of Heir to the Empire and all that anyway, with a clone army, I'm all set with it. If they want to do something different with Ahsoka, I'm good because I've kind of already seen it on film now. Mm-hmm. But you know, the whole setup, the whole Jack Black and Lizzo, their community with the domed planet. I feel like the next season is going to flash forward a little bit. I don't think it's going to be as linear as we all think. I think we're going to start seeing, you know, obviously this kind of closes the book. I think Moff Gideon's dead. I don't think he was a clone. I think this kind of closes the book on that chapter. We're going to be allowed to move up a little bit in the continuity. Mm-hmm. I think we're going to be able to see Grogu a little bit older, probably be able to talk.
Ooh, they're going to change his yeah, they kept harping on that. Yeah, your foundling can't talk. He can't take the oath.
Can't take the oath. I think we're going to see Mandalore built up again with those domed cities that Jack Black, who was an architect and designer of that perfect city, come in and be like, yes, I've made a perfect Mandalore.
There you go.
I think that's what's going to happen.
So this was just a bridge season to get us to where we need to be in the future. Okay. That's fine. Because we really need to get back on track. Like I said last week, Grogu's got nothing to do. He's got nothing to do. So we really need to amp up the stakes. Because this last episode, there was some tension, and that's what has been missing this whole season. Like, it's fine to have side episodes where you go off and have adventures.
Of course.
But there was just nothing compelling. Like, I was not concerned for anyone. And then the fans created all these theories about someone being a double agent, the armorer, Axe Wolf. And then in the end, everybody was what they were. Nobody tricked anybody.
Nope, not anybody. We're all just here. We're in for it. We're in to save Mandalore and make it prosper again. Nobody had any ulterior motives.
No, this is the way. They're all on board.
Grogu got to see his feet move out from underneath his little tunic there. At the end, he got to go bar hopping.
Yeah, scurry around. That was fun.
I really feel bad. I feel bad because I don't know the character's name, and it's the father from Kim's Convenience. He plays the rebel pilot.
Yeah. Sure.
There's something about that scene where he's like, "Thanks a lot, Mando. You really helped us out with this one." It's like, you were going to do nothing. How does that help you out? You know?
Yeah. Right.
And they're just still chilling out at the same little dive bar.
Did you see Dave Filoni in the background?
Of course I did. I saw his hat right away.
Can't miss that
hat.
hat.
Yeah. It was like, hat. Wow.
Hat, yeah. People were making some connections to the fact that it was strange that they kept the trophies above the bar, like all the stormtrooper helmets, and then obviously they needed the IG head to be there for storyline reasons. But people were saying because Zeb frequents this bar, so they were saying that Ezra likes to collect trophies, so maybe he is somehow also there. You connect, you see how So, I mean, we know we're going to see him in Ahsoka. The actor has been cast. Like, everybody's in it. It's not like going to be a surprise when he shows up.
I don't know.
I'm looking forward to Ahsoka. I think this season of Mandalorian and is like, it was like a continuation of Boba Fett. They both subpar, and I'm ready to put them behind. I'm not ready to give up on the Mandalorian character, but he needs a little bit of a reboot. I didn't love how he was portrayed this season.
You want him to be a little bit darker again?
I just want him to have a goal.
Well, there was more grit to those first two seasons, and this whole season has been very bright, filmed bright. The locations were bright.
It's true.
It wasn't
unless they were in that cave.
Dark. Unless they were in that cave.
Yeah.
Unless he was bathing in the sacred waters of Mandalore, it wasn't. Yeah, I think that episode when he goes to explore it and that weird crab creature, Grievous Eye, that was a great episode.
Yeah.
But it was it was dark. The setting was dark.
It was very dark.
And then you had R5 getting into a fight. Turn up the brightness like you had to do with that Game of Thrones episode where they're all battling against who knows what because you can't see it.
Who knows what? Yeah. Use your imagination.
I enjoyed the mouse droids that like one came to bug R5 and then like 4 showed up with like little alarms like they were going to do something.
What is the point of the mouse droid in Star Wars? What does it do?
I honestly don't know because these seemed like little security, like little.
They did.
Little
they
alarms.
had the little lights on them,
and they had lights in the first one. I thought originally they were meant for almost like a communication style droid. Like you would like record something into it and then set it off, as opposed to like calling on a communication panel or something like that. I have no clue.
It's never been explained on film. Like there's no explanation for their purpose. They just are always there with the Empire. They're bad droids. They're bad.
And I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I think the Kenner. Do I have any behind me at all? I mean, yeah, I have one. The Kenner and Hasbro ones are so oversized. It's not funny.
Sure. Well, they're so little. It'd be hard to in scale.
If you ever get, that's the thing. So if you ever got the Action Fleet droid pack, it's got the perfect mouse droid in it. Perfect scale.
Oh, good.
Yes.
I don't have that, though. So.
No, that's okay.
So we heard a little while back that Spirit was going to put out a new Proton Pack. Yeah. And people have been getting them. I don't know if these were samples, like, to promote it. Yeah. But it is 1-to-1. It's as big, at least it seems like to me, as big as the Hasbro pack.
Sure.
And it's only $250, and it comes with the neutrino wand, and it lights up and
sounds.
It's pretty good. It looks good,
and it doesn't have any of the afterlife embellishments attached to
it. Right.
So it's a true.
So what do you think? You're gonna get one?
It's a good question. I mean, I don't need. So that's the thing.
It's light.
Let's say how light is this? Like 5 pounds?
I mean, the current one is so light. So this one is bigger, but like it's still gonna be like hollow.
So I've seen photos of it next to the original Spirit pack, and yes, it is much larger. My question is like I have no rush to get this.
Sure.
Can I wait and apply a 20% off coupon?
Oh, at least. I'm thinking like clearance. Because that's how I got my original Spirit one. Like 50 or 70% off. I'm going to hide it. Yeah.
Oh,
because I'm not going to pay $250 for it when I drop $500 for the Hasbro one.
Sure.
Like I'm just not going to. Like that's crazy. Because I can wear the little Spirit one. I'm not going to any fancy Halloween parties. Like the little one was good enough.
Yeah.
But like I would love to own this. It's good. Imagine if this came out before the Hasbro one. Do you think that would have affected backing?
I think it would have. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I think
this would have
half the price.
If I was still doing the Salem thing, this pack would have completely ruined everything.
Yeah. I mean, you just got to scuff it up a little. It'll look just as good.
No, I think so. I mean, I don't know how I would hide it, but
speaking of hiding Ghostbusters, there were some set photos leaked from the new sequel to Afterlife, Firehouse, and we got to see a returning character. We got to see a character from the first movie, but now he may be wearing something a little different.
Yeah.
So needless to say, we're going to get into spoiler territory here. We saw the actor who portrayed Walter Peck in the original Ghostbusters. He's back. Wearing almost the same exact outfit.
But not covered in marshmallow this time.
No, he got it dry cleaned. I still remember when Mattel did the Ghostbusters line and they announced that they were doing Walter Peck and that the rationale behind it was that someone from Mattel lived down the street from the guy so they could just walk down and get his likeness rights.
Sure.
But like they had to pack him with the containment unit.
They did,
the control
in order to
make
move
him Yeah, to have anybody want this damn figure, because like what a terrible choice. What a strange line. That was so
very
odd,
high
the
risk, very
made.
high risk figure. I mean, he'd fit right in with the current Indiana Jones line. But at the time, you get a guy in a suit. It's like, how do I push this? Nobody wants Walter Peck. It's like, get the containment unit there behind him. That's the only way the other people will get him.
Yeah, Walter Peck was the accessory, basically.
Sure.
So we also saw Paul Rudd walking around. No surprise, he's back. He was wearing what looked like a Jedi robe, trying to hide his costume underneath. But we could see. We know what he's wearing. We know what he's going to be. And I think that's the right call.
Collar. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's... I'm really excited for this new movie because the first one, it closed the door on the original 2 movies. The story is there. Obviously... Yeah. It was basically, it closed the book on Egon's character.
Right.
We got an appropriate farewell to Egon Spengler. So now we're bringing everybody back. We're getting new ghost calls. Maybe there'll actually be some ghosts in this movie. There weren't really a lot of ghosts in the first movie. There was that one, the blue one.
Yep, Muncher. Maybe Slimer will be back in this one if it's New York based.
Gotta get Slimer. Get Slimer back in there. Yeah. I think it was fine that they didn't use him in the first one because it was very busy. But
it was.
We want Slimer back. Nobody's gonna turn their nose up at Slimer. We love Slimer.
No.
Don't make him look like he did in the all-female version, though.
Right.
And have his wife or whatever. They were driving the Ecto-1 around.
Girlfriend. Yep, right.
That movie was slated to be released at the end of this year. There's no chance in hell that's happening. There's no chance.
No.
I don't even know why they said that because it's not happening. But I'm really looking forward to that. I want to see what Hasbro is going to do. You were saying that some more Ghostbusters popped up at Ollie's this week.
Yeah, the glow in the dark. What was it? Was it a online exclusive or was it just a Hasbro Pulse exclusive? The glow in the dark, 6-inch figures. Yeah, you could get them like from Entertainment Earth, so they weren't exclusive to Hasbro Pulse. But I got them during that 40% off sale a couple years ago. So did I. Yeah, but I would totally get another set to open. Like they're just like better versions of those original figures. Right. They got some fun slime on them. So do you know how much they cost at Ollie's? $8? Yeah. Oh, give me all of them. Gimme. I need to go check out Ollie's tomorrow. There you go. Good luck. Thank you so much. Sure. I want to go back to Power Rangers because there were big news in the toy world for Power Rangers this week. So Hasbro is doing this remastered set where it's like the best version of the original Mighty Morphin Power Ranger figures. They added, they updated the articulation. They gave them the drop down hips. They gave them all the paint detail that was lacking from the original releases. New head sculpts. All versions of the blade blaster, and then like a little like display piece to like a blast is going around them or something. Yeah. So this week they showed off green, red, and pink. So Tommy, Jason, Kimberly, and the thing with this is that the dragon shield, that gold shield that the Green Ranger wears, is removable. Thankfully, it's removable because they're packing it with the Red Ranger. So these are supposed to be the definitive versions of these characters, and you're packing the shield with the Red Ranger, so it's like the Green Ranger is shipping naked. Like, it looks disgusting. Oh, really? Oh, weird. Why would you do that? So everybody is speculating, why are they doing this? But here's the other part. Here's the other piece of the puzzle. Yeah. Everybody comes with an alternate civilian head except the Red Ranger. You're not getting a new Jason head. And Hasbro, very hush-hush. They didn't show off the accessory photos until after the fact. They didn't explain why. Speculation running rampant that Hasbro doesn't want to be connected to Jason, the actor, Austin St. John, because of his legal hot water. They just don't want anything to do with him. So they didn't include his head, which I think is terrible. You can't make these like the ultimate versions of these characters
and give 5 of the 6 a civilian head, and then not give the head to the Red Ranger, and then give him the shield. It just, like, you know, these are plastic-free packaging, so you're probably not going to just display them in the box. But, like, imagine if they weren't and you wanted to display them, you're just going to have this naked Green Ranger up on your shelf. It looks terrible.
It does look terrible. This line is so wonky. It's all
so
over the
wonky.
place.
Yeah, it's weird. And then the Green Ranger has the wrong holster for the Dragon Dagger. He just has the normal Blade Blaster holster. And then the Red Ranger, if he's the armored up version, he should have 2 holsters, one for the Dragon Dagger and one for the Blade Blaster. He's only got the one. So it's like they went in halfway and they were afraid to actually go the full 10 yards, 9 yards, whatever the expression is. They didn't do it right. They had an idea and then they swapped it all around, and it just sucks. It just is too bad.
So I saw some snapshots of the presentation. Some of the people that were hosting the presentation, they're also on the G.I. Joe. Did they also split the teams like they had done with like Star Wars and Indiana Jones? Did they also split G.I. Joe and Power Rangers, or are they just kind of like hosting?
It's not
like,
clear
whatever?
What's happening. I think more in line they're sharing hosting duties.
Oh, okay.
Because there's the one woman who hosts a lot of different things. She does Dungeons and Dragons. I saw her.
Oh,
in
okay.
That. Yeah, the Power Ranger team definitely lost some people that were doing the hosting. Sure. So I think it's just like an all hands on deck situation. Like who can be in front of a camera? All right, you're up to bat. But I'm just really disappointed. Then they're doing a remastered Rita, which is nice because the only way you could get her from Hasbro was in the 2-pack with a re-released Lord Zed at GameStop, and I did pass on that one. But this one comes with 3 face plates, so you can change her expression. Looks good. I also have the Rita from Super 7 pre-ordered because she comes with the telescope, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to let that pre-order ride. But I also do want the Hasbro version. And then one of the villains is getting remastered. That villain line, it's really just been all over the place. Because you started out, you got 2 villains. You got King Spinks and you got the Pumpkin Rapper.
Yes. It
didn't do well. Stuck around. I think I have like 15 King Spinks figures because they were marked down to like $5 on Walmart at one point.
Sure.
Then they did Pudgy Pig and Piranha's Head, I think. Was that the pairing?
No, it was Pudgy Pig and Eye Guy.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was another 2 sets of villains, but then that was it. And then you ended up with Piranha's Head, and then they did like a deluxe Ranger. So now they're just like putting a villain wherever you can fit them. And then you were saying that Snizzard is like $10 on Amazon. So
great
still
price.
not doing well.
I only get those. That's the weird thing.
They're great.
They're
monsters
awesome.
are great figures.
And if you can, I don't think I've paid full price for any one of them.
No.
So like I said, I think Snizzard was under 20, and it was like, I saw it once at Target on their end cap. They did like a little Power Rangers display or a collector's corner display, and then it was gone. And I was like, oh, that kind of sucks. I won't get the Snizzard because his design is all right. He looks cool. He kind of reminds me of Granny Gross with the mouth that comes down, the old Ghostbusters character there. But yeah, I was like, oh, I could pick that up for 20. That's fine.
Mm-hmm. One final piece of Power Ranger toy news. They added the Black Ranger as an option for the Selfie series.
Yeah.
And then if you are a premium member, you can get one of the Power Ranger bodies on the Selfie series for 20% off during this promotional period. And it's still the lower price. It never popped up to the $80 that we were afraid it was going to.
Okay.
So that's a pretty good deal. If you just want the head and you want it to be compatible with a Power Ranger body.
Yeah.
Good deal. Hop on that while you can.
I wonder how the Selfie series is doing. I wonder if it's doing as well as they thought it would. Or
yeah. I haven't heard a lot of talk about it recently.
No, and I haven't seen any, other than you said the Black Ranger body, I haven't seen any new updates to any of the other characters and licenses that they've had.
Right. I thought they were going to add like new facial features or something. And it just hasn't happened. And I keep waiting for it, but has it been a year? Maybe the summer will be the 1 year point.
Maybe.
So maybe they're trying to clear out what exists right now.
Okay.
That's my hope, at least. we saw new photos of the Saurozoic warriors in box.
Yeah.
And I this was on Instagram, and I wrote as a comment, can you take a picture of these next to a He-Man figure? Because I need to know how big these are. I need, like, nothing you've shown gives me any concept of scale. And our good friend, Dan Larson, obliged. He sent me a photo of 2 of the figures next to He-Man, an Origins figure, and they are perfectly in scale with the Origins figures.
Your biggest fear.
So that fear alleviated. I'm 100% on board with Saurozoic Warriors now.
Oh,
they
are
look
you?
Great, nice and chunky. Yeah, that's fine. I needed them to at least be that size.
I thought you wanted them to be larger than that.
Oh, well, I guess I did. Yeah, like I wanted them to be like 6-inch scale.
Yeah.
You're right. See,
but
I think the idea.
You sent me that photo, and I was like, oh, yeah. Okay.
Well, I think the idea is they're in scale with He-Man. I think that was always the idea. Like, these are a companion piece to the He-Man figure. So I'm okay with that scale. I am okay with that scale. I was afraid they would be even shorter.
Okay.
You did remind me that I did kind of want them to be bigger. Yeah, it's like I guess I want them to be like this Slash figure where it's like more closer to 6 or 7 inch. But
yeah,
you know what? It's a good price. I'm not going to complain. Big box, big, wide, long, rectangular box. I'm not
shows off everything. Shows off all the accessories, the figure.
That's true. It does do that.
Yeah.
Just sort of an unique choice that you don't see like packaging arranged like that. So, but now I'm looking forward to those. And Series 2 will hopefully come shortly after that. Right. Somebody got their Moe's apron from Super 7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it comes with a nice, nice just a little baggie. So like, I'm sure it just ships in a mail, like a bubbler, mail bubbler, bubble envelope. I have not received mine.
Yeah.
I almost want to confirm. Like, I'm still, you didn't lose my address, right? It's still coming. But
Sure.
I'm probably going to wait a moment on that. But we did get some very good news on the Simpsons front from Super 7 this week. What did we see? On a magazine cover, of all things.
Right.
Who knew? They still make magazines.
Right? I think they're like Kickstarter campaigns now at this point. You have to pay in to subscribe to these. Groundskeeper Willie. Very exciting.
Yep. Yeah.
That's what it was.
Do you think it looks good?
Groundskeeper Willie? I'd say he looks decent.
Yeah, I think the angle is a little weird.
The head seems a little kind of like, I'm sure it is just the angle that they filmed in. A little too slim, maybe, but but the real excitement for that photo is not Groundskeeper Willie, is our first shots of the core family, Marge, Lisa, and Maggie.
Well, at least Marge and Lisa. Maggie is in a grocery bag. So I don't know if she's got a full figure in there, or if she's like sculpted into the bag.
Oh, you don't think? Oh, come on! It's Super 7.
I think that's going to be like a running thing, like where you have Maggie as an accessory, like with the alien body. Like she's always going to be an accessory, but she's never going to be like her full body.
Oh, I mean, I'd have to say that it would have to be a full Maggie. It's not much to even articulate with that.
No, I don't think she would have any art. I just think it's almost like a cruel joke.
Sure.
If they keep not giving. So we're getting Marge and Lisa before we get normal Bart and Homer.
Right.
At least as far as we know. Like, we don't know when these are, what series these are. Yeah. We don't know any of that. But, they look good. In theory, they will come with alternate heads if they follow the formula that every other series has had.
Yeah.
We speculated that we may never see the normal version of the family. Whether it was a contractual thing or it was just like something that Brian, he didn't want to do it. He didn't think they were toyetic enough or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I was surprised, honestly, to see these so soon.
It was surprising. Very surprising.
Pleasantly surprising.
Pleasantly surprised, yes. Did you see the video, going back to Moe and the apron real quick? Did you see the video? I don't know if they bought them in bulk and they contacted Super 7 about the missing aprons and wanted to get their money back, and in order to do so, or like a refund or a return or an exchange, in order to do it they had to destroy the Moe figure.
No.
So it was a whole video of them just like taking almost like pruning shears and just like cutting the Mo figure apart just because of the apron.
What?
Yeah,
so it
was weird.
They didn't want it because it was incomplete.
Correct.
And they didn't want like the apron to be a separate piece.
Potentially. I don't know. I said, I don't know if they were like an online shop that purchased them in bulk. And we're
you got to send that to me. I'm going to put it.
I'll try to find it. It is pretty wild to watch it.
I remember people would do videos with Sideshow products because Sideshow had a similar policy where it's like, okay, we'll send you a new one, but we don't want you keeping that other one to sell and ruin the value.
Of course. Well,
so
that
people
would
do these.
Keep going. I'm sorry.
People would do these videos where they destroy the thing, but they set it up as if like, oh, my girlfriend was so mad at me, she destroyed my precious Sideshow. Like they would make, they would lie. They would make it seem like it was a bigger deal than it was.
Oh, my PS5. Well, you remember I got the that Gorax, this guy right here. Remember I got that?
Oh, yeah.
And it came with a broken arm. Like the arm snapped off in shipping. And I contacted the seller and I was like, hey, man, I feel bad. What do you want me to do with it? And he just says, just keep it. So I got 2 of these things. I should raffle one off or something. I don't know. Raffle off the broken one.
They'd have raffle for money though. Don't just give it away.
Yeah, for money.
Never works. No, remember when like giveaways were a big thing? Nobody does them anymore because it doesn't work. Nobody wants to put in any effort to win these things.
Right.
But that's fine.
Scratch that.
We had an update on the Doozer figures. Who's the company that does that? That's not Boss Fight, right?
I thought it was.
So who does Boss Fight does the Saurozoic Warriors and the Doozers?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Well, Boss Fight, hey, hit me up.
Yeah.
He's making a lot of product I like.
Right.
Well, if they're doing them, that's great. They have a production sample of the first Doozer, which is like a preview Doozer. Looks great. Colors look great. Nice texture on there. Again, I'm not sure on the scale because I think that the Fraggles are 6-inch, so these should be a little bit. They're not going to be in scale because the Doozers are super tiny, but maybe like 4-inch or something. Mm-hmm. So I'm very excited to get my hands on some Fraggles and Doozers, and I hope that line continues forever and ever. I want every stupid Fraggle variant.
All the Fraggles and all
Fraggle
the Doozers.
All the Doozers. I want some clear like building pieces so I can build their buildings and have the Fraggles eat them. I just want to wrap myself in Doozers. I love it.
Wow.
Hasbro announced a new Spider-Man animated series 2-pack, Mary Jane and Green Goblin. I did like that they announced Mary Jane on 420. I thought that was fun. I didn't see anybody point that out, but I thought that was pretty clever.
Yes,
like that had to be intentional, right?
Right. Someone over there's friendly to that. Very good. Good for them.
They look good. I mean, they look like the show. Other than the Spider-Man I have from that set, none of them like really speak to me. I don't know.
Are these going to be in the VHS box? Is that what they're going to go for with this?
I think whatever they did with the Doc Ock and
yeah, it's VHS.
Aunt May, probably what they're going to do, but I don't know that they showed a picture.
Because they already had the Green Goblin and Mary Jane in the retro card backs.
Oh, really?
A couple years back, I think it was actually in the first wave, where it had the Spider-Sense Peter Parker, Shocker, all that, and then they had Mary Jane, but you could swap her head out for Gwen Stacy.
But she didn't look like the cartoon. Like it wasn't like a unique head sculpt.
They need to bring that cartoon back. Poor Mary Jane's still flying through like whatever universe she got sucked into by the Spot character.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she never came back.
That's too bad for her.
It's been decades. She's still floating
around.
They're
doing X-Men 92, so if that works, why not bring back Spider-Man 95 or whenever that came out?
Well, I think X-Men was 97. It's X-Men 97.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry.
I don't know numbers good.
Me fail English.
Power Rangers came out in 93.
Impossible.
It was all around. It was all around there. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I get you.
I think they delayed that X-Men cartoon.
Sure.
Can you confirm that?
I can't confirm that, but I mean, it's going to show up when it shows up. I turned Netflix on and that Power Rangers special was on. I was like, oh yeah, wow.
There you go. That's how it works now. The advertising doesn't work. You just got to put it in front of people. Last week I showed off that Razor Ramon Ultimate figure. This week, showing off the Hitman Bret Hart So this is not how the figure comes. This belt is that expensive custom job that I showed off before that I love so dearly. The coat is actually from the first Bret Hart Ultimate. The pink coat is the one that the new one comes with. But I just think this is the way I want to display the figure. So arms are removable. Pop those right off. Glasses fall off very easily. Yeah. Pop that off, and then you can take the jacket off. So I really like the way they did the jacket, like not soft goods. They made it its own sculpt, so you get some articulation on the elbows. Very nicely done. I'm going to pop this one off. I want to compare these. So this is the first Bret Hart from a couple years ago. At least, maybe more. I really didn't like this figure because look at the torso. Look at the overhang. It's very unsightly. And then this is molded in black and not flesh color. So underneath, you just see all that black. Looks disgusting. I hate it.
Right. Okay.
New one, totally redesigned torso. Look at that. They incorporated the trim of the singlet top into where the cut is. Much more aesthetically pleasing. Much better design job. Night and day.
I can see that. Very nice.
This is a much better figure. This is my favorite version. And they're gonna do at least one more Bret Hart Ultimate in the Monday Night Wars. Just like this armless hitman here. But at least one more figure.
Is that after you got both hands stuck in a vending machine?
Yes. This is what it looks like.
They'll grow back, right?
Yeah. And he just had to let go of the chips. That was the whole time. And then we were talking about the drop down hips. This figure has those. You can see.
Drop.
It's like, whoa, that doesn't make any sense. Why would I want that? You want that because you got to put your other guy in the sharpshooter, and you need him to be able to squat like that. If he didn't have those, he wouldn't be able to get his legs up that high. So now you can put your characters in a very nice sharpshooter. Very good figure. Very happy to have that. It's going to be front and center of my collection. So between this Bret Hart and this Razor Ramon, starting to get a very nice collection here of this decade of WWE. Now, there is a Diesel figure that came with that new gen arena, and I have it. I've been saving it because I want to sell it. But I almost feel like I'd rather just have it to put next to these guys because they're not going to do another Diesel figure, at least for a while, because that was sort of the deal. People backed the arena so that they got this exclusive figure. So maybe I'll just open it up. I don't know.
Who knows?
But very happy with what Mattel is doing there.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul.
What's up?
Do you like My Pillow?
I prefer My Pillow, but
right.
you know.
Do you prefer these pillows?
What is that?
I was at that antique store today, and I was doing the second go around, and I looked at the bottom of like a booth.
Yeah.
Vintage 99. Anakin Skywalker pillow. Jar Jar Binks.
Did you wash them?
Yes.
Okay. Just like there's something weird about owning someone else's used pillow.
I don't know if they are used. That's the thing.
But you would never know. It's not like they came in a plastic bag.
It still has the quality control sticker on it. I mean,
well, you can't take that off or you'd go to jail. It's like a mattress, right?
That's the label, not the actual QC sticker that would come off anyway. Nobody used these.
Okay.
They're mine now. How dare you?
Sure. They're your pillows.
How dare you? They're my pillows.
I thought you when you put that on the list, I was like, oh, we're going to get political here, talking about my
pillow.
But no,
we're gonna just talk
good
about...
to see. Only space politics on this show.
I honestly, I can't subscribe to anything past space politics.
Right.
And there we go.
My time is all occupied trying to figure out the separatists. I'm not completely sure I understand, but that's fine.
Yeah.
That video did very well. People were very interested in space politics.
Sure.
Do you want to pontificate a little more about that? Maybe get some more views?
On space politics? Not really.
Yeah.
No,
okay,
I'm
fine.
good. Gotta think about that. I think that was like lightning in a bottle.
We'll do okay, well, that might be true, too. I'll try to set you up one week.
There we go.
NECA put out this accessory pack for the Turtles, which we still haven't heard if it's getting re-released. A lot of people didn't get it, including myself. People that have been having a lot of fun with the baby turtles that came in it. People have been making little cars for them out of like other existing toys and painting them up. There's this one guy who is making custom packaging, so it's like each each turtle comes its own, like almost like they're a Chucky doll, like the
Right.
big box. And it just is fantastic. Like,
yes, I did see those.
Yeah, like this guy is great. And like you can order them, but like people are probably gonna have to order them before they get the turtles, because more people can have this than the actual turtles.
Right. I think the gentleman in question was like, I can make 25 of these right now, and that's it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there wasn't a lot that he could make, because he's like, these are very time consuming.
Yeah.
But of course, I mean, that crowd who does have that accessory set, they do have a lot of fun with those baby turtles.
Well, presumably NECA's going to put out that sewer diorama. So these are just like great things to fill that up.
Right.
Put it on your mantle for Christmas. It's going to look beautiful.
There we go. Beautiful.
Speaking of holidays, have you been to Target lately? They have a lot of Father's Day gift items in the dollar spot.
Oh, oh yes, I have seen those. Yes. Best dad.
But nothing for Mother's Day, which comes first.
Right. Yeah, you got to go to the
Which
you
is
have to go to the card aisle. You
strange.
have to go to the card aisle.
What do you think's going on there? Is this intentional? Did the Mother's Day shipment get lost, delayed?
I mean, you'd have to assume that maybe Target assumes that you're going to spend a little bit more than $1 on your mother. And
So
less
there's
on your
just
dad.
nothing there for mothers? That's funny.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you're not going
My wife
deep
was
enough.
very quick to point out.
Okay.
My wife was very quick to point out that Father's Day is out, but Mother's Day is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah. Other than the card aisle.
What are there, cards? What else is there?
I don't know. What do you get your dad?
I don't know.
You know what
Ties?
What do you like for Father's Day? What do you get?
I don't know. I'd appreciate anything.
I would appreciate. I mean, I'm one of those guys now I'd appreciate just being left alone for 6 hours.
No, you're at
That
that
would
point.
be that. I think
Oh
so.
my God.
If I could
6
do
hours?
Chores, if I could do chores for 6 hours,
Be my birthday and Christmas. 6 hours.
I'd be all set. I'd be all set.
Yeah. Woof.
Oh,
Man. Yeah.
there's a toy show. There's a toy show tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Vintage toy show that I want to go
Pixel
to.
Dan having a booth or a panel?
I don't believe so, which is fine. He can stay out of Massachusetts. You hear that, Pixel Dan?
Stay out, Dan.
Stay out of Massachusetts.
There's only room for one Dan. Dan Larson, our best friend.
Yeah, and he occupies New Hampshire, but
He's got all of New Hampshire. Yeah.
all in New Hampshire. Mm-hmm. I wanted to bring my oldest because I think she would appreciate it more. But my poor son's like begging to go to this toy because he hears the word toy and show, and it's like, what is it? I want to go. I don't care what it is. Please, please. Yeah. And I'm like I can't watch two kids and enjoy myself at something that's exclusively meant for me as
oh my
as an
God,
adult
all the
collector.
little hands. You're gonna end up paying so much money. People are
right.
Like,
it's like
you touched my toy. You touch it, you bought it.
You bought it. You touched the battle troll. You unkempt its hair. You bought it.
It was mint. Now it's near mint. I can't sell this for $30 anymore.
Oh, jeez.
That's fun.
I know. Debating.
So what are you gonna do?
You're
gonna make him sad, not take him?
Well, that's the thing. If I take him, then I have to take my wife, and that's the biggest problem.
Oh.
Because then if I take my wife, I can't take my money.
Oh, because she'll spend it.
No, I'll spend it, or I'll feel bad about spending it in front of my wife.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's all just a vicious thing.
Happy Mother's Day.
Right. Happy Mother's Day. What'd you buy? Oh, I bought this. It was $250.
What?
Got to remind myself that I have a lot. I don't really need anything. It's kind of like these Star Wars pillows. They're unique enough that
that's all you need.
Yeah, I need something weird like this. I don't need. I think the last time I went to this toy show, I got Star Wars erasers from Return of the Jedi.
Ooh,
which is coming back to
erased?
Theaters. No, they have not. They're still in their package.
Did the other two come back to theaters?
If they did, it was.
I was gonna say I didn't.
I didn't
think
know.
So. I don't remember that.
Empire may have. Star Wars would have been in 2017. I don't think it did because I think they were still riding on the whole sequel trilogy and all the other the sidequels and the solo movies.
Sidequels,
all the other movies that they were trying to like incorporate, and they had no time for putting the original Star Wars back in the theaters.
No time for the original.
A couple theaters are kind of. It looks like AMC is really putting out the putting it out right now. I don't see anything locally for AMC. In my neck of the woods, outside of like 30 miles, which is like I really don't want to travel that far.
It's a lot.
It is. So I'm hoping. I think the closest AMC at this point, it premieres on the 28th. I think right now they only have 4 movies showing that day, so I'm crossing my fingers that they're going to be like, oh, let's just add Return of the Jedi, and I'll just hop up there and see it.
Are they doing a theater edition Hasbro Jedi Luke figure?
Wouldn't that be the dream?
On the retro card or the POF 2? They should do the POF 2 card. My God. I would travel 30 miles for that.
I would. I know I would. I've told you that story about that figure, right?
Do you own it now?
I own it now, but the day that we were supposed to go and see the special edition Return of the Jedi, it snowed.
Oh, that's right.
It snowed like 8 inches in a short amount of time. And at the time, it was 97. My mother was unwilling to bring me to the theater because of the snow. And I was like, there's going to be a Luke there.
I know. What do you do if you went to the theater, you got this figure? What do you do with it while you're watching the movie, or did you bring it back to your car right away?
I don't know if you'd bring it back to your car. You
sit with it. You put buttery hands all over it.
It's like the posters. What do you do with the posters? Remember, AMC used to always give out the mini posters.
Yeah, you roll those up. You just put those in the drink holder or something. But a figure, you want to keep it mint.
At the time, you did, yeah. Those,
yeah. Now it's like, what'd you pay for yours? $10?
I think on the lower end of 20.
Yeah. I want to buy like 100 of them and like use it as wallpaper.
Those are notoriously bad though, because the blister comes off. The glue is very bad.
They use cheap glue on the giveaway.
On the giveaway one, yeah, the glue.
Damn
so to find one in immaculate condition, which mine's got some dog earring on the corners, and it was kind of slightly separating. Yeah, they got their greasy fingers on it. The buttery hands, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They were like,
so if you find a really good one.
Would you like some butter with your popcorn? Yes, and put some on my Luke too.
Yeah, a little extra on Luke. Keep him buttery.
Do
you want to talk about Picard?
Picard was great. That's all I really have to say. Can't really elaborate on it much, but if you like Next Generation, if you've kind of stuck with Picard, which it was only 3 seasons, first 2 seasons, not the strongest because they introduced some newer stuff. Wasn't really kind of in line with Next Generation. This last season is pretty much just a love letter to all those people, all those fans that really enjoyed the Next Generation. Full cast returned. It closed a lot of, speculation as to where they are. The chemistry between all the actors is still probably just about as same, if not better, than when it was when they were doing the TNG movies and the TNG show. It's just a great experience overall. Very cinematic, a lot of fun. Not at all like the Power Rangers thing that you were talking about. Just great. Just great.
It was good.
If you can see it in a theater, you were lucky, because, I don't know if there is any place where you could watch this. Very cinematic. Yeah. Just a lot of fun.
Cool. Yes. Now let me ask you something. Data is a robot.
Data is an android, yes.
But he aged. He's old. He looks old.
So yeah, of course. in this,
but that doesn't make any sense, right?
Right. So obviously, okay. So you have Data.
Fat. What's going on here?
Okay.
Spending too much time at that droid bar.
Oh, right, yeah, he's getting lubed up at the droid bar. But so obviously, Next Generation ran from 87 to 94. And Brent Spiner, the actor who played Data, was younger. And then obviously we went to the movies, which Generations was, I think, a year after the show ended. Might even been less than that. Still had the same physique. But then eventually, over time, you age. So by the time Nemesis rolled around, which I think was probably 5 years after the show had ended, it might have been a little bit after that. He started to look a little portlier, a little thicker in the suit. And eventually the actor himself was like, hey, I can't be the Data. He's an android. He's not supposed to age in any way.
Doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense. So with Picard returning, the first season they had him kind of doing like flashbacks. They did that de-aging. They did. Yeah, they did a little bit with that, and then they killed. Well, so he died in the last movie, the last TNG movie. They killed him off.
Oh, okay. And
then they brought him back in flashbacks, and almost kind of like he wanted his whole story was always to just become as human as possible. And the final thing was like his core memory and everything in the Picard season 1, he dies, like permanently dies. However, in this most recent season of Picard, it's found out that his creator, I think it's Dr. Eric Sung, who also looks like Brent Spiner but is a human, creates this perfect android body that mimics Data as he would look, but then also gives him, real feel skin. And so he is an android. He can age like a human because obviously it's the future. And now he just has the ability to kind of look like everybody else.
Wonderful.
He gets his wish.
They figured it out.
They figured it out.
It all makes sense now.
Yes.
Very good. All right. I don't think we can top that. Anything else for this week?
No, I got to say my 2 cents about Star Trek. I'm all set.
There you go. It's always a good week for Bill when he can talk Star Trek.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Well, you know what we say. We don't want to grow up, but we already did. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye, everyone.